Hello everyone, the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hey, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. We're going to go ahead and get right on into the topic, but first, a word from our sponsor.
This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Hey guys, this is the Crimson Cure, and I'm back again with part 3 of the live stream that myself and Nikole Ali recorded on November the 7th of 2020. And this one covers the third question, which is how do you identify and support the red pill men in your life? And if there aren't any, how do you deal with the blue pill men in your life? And I thought this was important also to demonstrate to the ladies because we have a supportive role in men's lives. And this goes for online and offline. And I thought it was important to delve into how do we support the men in our lives in real time, in our everyday life. Like, what do we do as red pill women, as women who are conscious of what we're supposed to do and what our purposes are? Like, how do we actually support the men in our lives? So once again, I'll let you guys dive right into that. And that actually brings me to the last aspect that I want to tackle, which is a two-part question. And that is, how do you identify and support the red pill men in your life? And if there aren't any, how do you support the blue pill men in your life? And I thought that was a interesting one.
Mm-hmm. I have quite a few red pill men in my life. I didn't really know they were red pill until I really, sat down and started thinking about it. And my dad, that was the first person I would identify. Because anyone that's red pill, everyone starts off as blue pill identified, basically, because you're in a society that's developed a certain way for you not to see the truth and not to even think about looking for it. And so my dad, I think number one, I identify him, of course, later in life. As a kid, I didn't know anything about that, but I identify him as a person who always seeks the truth, even if it hurts. And him, and I think as far as supporting him, I always listen to what my dad has to say, and we go back and forth. We argue about stuff all the time, politics, what's going on in the world, different countries, and all kinds of stuff, economics. We argue about everything, science. Most of the stuff I talk about on here, I've argued with my dad about it, basically. Mm-hmm. So, relationships, how things are going, and so in supporting him, I'm always taking his advice, taking his guidance, and he doesn't give me as much guidance and advice anymore because I've transitioned. So he's basically he said, you ain't my problem no more. He said that. I was and he talks a good riddance, and laughing about it. I was like, oh, whatever, old man. We go back and forth, but in supporting him, I think because he told me being the good woman that you are, being the best woman you can be, that's all the things I need. I don't need all the accolades and stuff, and I don't need all that. And he's like, just being the best woman you can be and not being no scallywag and skis in these streets. He said, that's all. I didn't raise you to be like that. I raised you to be the woman that you are, and if you want to seek new heights, then do that. So in him saying those encouraging words to me, me supporting him would be just like what he said. I'm gonna do what he says because that's respect, that's loyalty, that's family. It's my father. Always respect him. Even if he make me mad, still, gonna be there. As far as like blue pill men, there are quite a few. And the excuse me, the red pill. I'll speak on the red pill first. As far as the red pill men, like we see red pill men on here in this platform. Um, I support red pill men in my real life as well, and I do what I can. I'm really would like to do more. Um, so I'm really like trying to figure out what I could do to do more. I would like to help, like for instance, Dr. Tia Johnson. I really want to help him the things that he's doing. Support what he's doing. And you guys go to his channel and check him out and subscribe. By the way, and other people that are doing work that's really good, who are red pill. As far as blue pill, as far as the blue pill guys, I would say that it is annoying to me, but it's some of the things that they say. It's like a male feminist. They're not seeing. Some of them are not. They don't see. It's just blatant ignorance. It's just simple ignorance. They don't know. They just don't know. And to others, they kind of have an inkling that something's there, but they refuse to open that door. And they're just like, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm good. Why are you lying to yourself, dog? Why are you lying? Like, don't lie. You ain't gotta lie, Greg. You ain't got to lie.
Right.
They sit there like, I'll be good, right? I'm good right here. I don't need to do nothing else. Like, you see you struggling. Every time I see you, I'm serious. Like, every time I see one guy in particular, if his woman raises a hand, this man jumps. Like, the heck?
Wow.
Okay,
wow.
Like, are you that much into the gynocracy and that much adherent to it, where you are, if a man jumps when a woman raises her hand just to, get a drink or something, and he's like, I'm like, is she hurting you? I'm sitting here like,
right. Point to where it hurt, baby. Yes. I won't tell nobody.
I get the little doll out and show me where she touched you.
Right.
That
Please
and
show me where your secret is safe with me.
That's an extreme, but that's true. And that's, of course, misandry all over the place. But she would turn around and say, there is toxic masculinity out here, as she's, sipping a Jack and Coke, and he's sitting here looking around like, right. Who shot John or something? He's sitting here looking like Celie out so purple. I'm like, dude, what is the deal? So that type of thing, I don't know how to say or support a man in that position, because I'm like, is there a foundation or organization where you can go to? You need to run, like, you need to get out of there, and you've been married for 10 years.
Need to get to the chopper immediately.
Get to the chopper. Dead serious. Yes, I see that. I see the other side of red pill, where you have young boys, where I'm like, you gonna be red pill. I mean, you gonna be blue pill, and I don't think you're gonna be able to come out, because I can see the environment you're in, and I just, where it's just like, he doesn't have a voice, he doesn't have an opinion. I ask him, what do you think about that? He's like, I don't know. His mom, he don't ever say nothing. He ain't got nothing to say. Da, 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 da. I'm like,
right, just under the boot heel. Mm-hmm.
Right. And, go over there, get me another bottle of water. And he's just like, yeah. I'm like, this is not a servant. Right. He's not your servant. This is your son. What are you doing? That type of thing. And supporting them. I'm like, I said one thing, for instance, that young boy, I was like, I'm going to get you in touch with my brother. He going to do some boxing with you. Actively try to put the young boys, and even men, of course, they have their own faculties to do that, own money to do that. But putting them into more of a male-dominated space with active, where they can be active, have more confidence in themselves. So I have helped that, and my brother was like, this boy is a wimp. I said, don't say that out loud. Don't put that energy out there. I was like, just work with them and see what's going on. And, he works with them and he was like, he getting stronger, he getting a little better. He actually said his first word the other day. I was like, oh my God. The boy doesn't talk. I thought he was mute,
Wow.
because he just does not talk. He will nod or shake his head, nod yes or shake his head no. He raised his hand to say something and we're in the house talking, and he will raise his hand. He'll put his finger up like he's at church. I'm like, what kind of feminine gynometrical witchcraft is going on here?
Right. Exactly.
I see that and I'm like, that's how you identify, because it's easy to identify. Anyone that says they can't, they lying. It's easy to identify. If you are a boy or a man and you're acting feminine, that's like there's something there. Something there has happened. Something there is a brewing. Something's brewing. We need to figure out what that is. Same on the other side. If you're dealing with that's with blue pill. Same thing on the side with red pill. Very easy to recognize. It's not aggressive energy. It's assertive energy. Even if the man that's a red pill man is assertive and he's wrong, he has put out what it is he's going to say. If I'm wrong, I'll be corrected later.
Mm-hmm.
But a blue pill man is like, huh?
No, I was just saying that's a good point. I was agreeing with you with that.
Oh, yeah. Blue pill man is like, well, I'll just wait for the ladies to talk and I'll get my 2 cents here and there. What?
Right.
This your house. What you doing?
Right. Waiting on the ladies to clue you in and cue you in. And that's And I like what you said about it being easy to identify. Like you, my father was the first red pill man that I ever met without having that terminology to describe him. And I miss that old man. I miss that man. Nikole, I be trying to figure out, let me call my dad. You can't call your daddy. But
wow.
He, like, one of his big things was, he was like, I don't do business with women. I do pleasure with women. I said, what that mean, Daddy? He said, I don't do business with women. Women are not in my business. What business I have, women are just not a part of that. He was like, but I love women. I love them. They're just a part of, a woman is my family. A woman is my daughter. A woman is, my woman or whatever. That's who she is to me. And like, he just carried his life in such a way. He carried himself in such a way. He just had a command about him that everybody had to respect. It didn't matter that he wasn't as educated as the next man formally. He could be standing in front of multi-millionaires, and my daddy knew a lot of them, because so a lot of his business partners that he was doing business with were millionaire men. And I never saw him intimidated by anybody. Usually they were sort of intimidated by him. And just his assertive way that he went about things. He knew what he knew. And you wasn't going to tell him he didn't know it. And he could do what he can do, and you wasn't going to tell him he couldn't do it. And in his mind, he was a man. And that meant he did whatever came to him to do. And he was going to do it. And there wasn't a soul alive that had the authority to tell him no. And so he was the template for me being able to identify men like that. Now, I didn't have that terminology when I was young about red pill, blue pill, but I just felt like, well, my dad is masculine. He's a man, and men should act like this. Men should have this sort of set about them. And so, like you said, it's kind of easy to identify red pill man because they're masculine. You know, in my eyes, that's what it translates into. A red pill man is a man who has not given up his masculinity. He has not foregone his masculinity or any part of it. He is a man, and he's a masculine man in every aspect. And it doesn't matter if people agree or disagree with how he's moving. Like you said, you know, if he's assertive and wrong, he'll be corrected later. But right now, this is what it is. And let it be what it is. And then later on, if it was wrong, well, I guess we'll correct it. But right now, you know what I'm saying? It is what I'm saying it is. And so that's how, you know, through the lens of my father is how I started identifying men like him. And if you didn't have a certain assertiveness as a man, I would kind of be looking like, oh, you a weirdo too. You kind of a low-key weirdo. Because you don't act with assertion, you don't act with confidence, you don't act with surety, you know, in your leadership, in your manhood, and your masculinity. But in my personal life, I don't really know any blue pill men personally that I interact with on any type of regular basis. There are some blue pill men in my family, like cousins and stuff, but I don't really interact with them too much. The way that I support red pill men is simply to have that respect and that honor and that loyalty to them. I have the respect for them. I have the respect and the honor of their masculinity and their manhood. And especially when I'm interacting with them, you know what I'm saying, to take that supportive role with them and not an assertive role, because they don't tolerate that anyway. And as far as blue pill men go, if I do interact with them, the way in which I support them is I try to red pill them. I'll try to give them something, because it's nothing more hurtful to me than to watch a man take his manhood and ball it up and throw it in the garbage because a woman told him to. That hurts my soul. I don't like seeing it. So if I see a man doing that or falling into a gynocratic trap, it's like, no, baby, I can't let you do it. Just like a real quick story. This is probably a year or two ago, end of 2018, probably 2019, something like that. And I was driving a man around, and he chose to open up to me about a woman that he was dating, and their relationship wasn't going so good at the moment because he had chosen not to keep taking her out on these expensive dates. And so as he was talking to me, and I was kind of picking a little bit of information, and he ended up telling me that, you know, him and her had not even been intimate. I said, well, how long have y'all been going on dates and stuff? He was like 2 months. I said, I almost stopped the car. I said, 2 months. And then one of the other things he was saying, the reason why he stopped taking her out is because she was making a habit of being late for the dates. Like not a few minutes late, but like an hour, hour and a half, and so I started talking to him because poor man was in a blue pill haze, and he was like in his late 40s, he had told me. I said, "Po baby," I said, "listen, she is disrespecting your time." And he had to sit back and think about that for a moment. I said, "She disrespecting you? That's disrespectful, sweetheart." I said, "You cannot allow somebody to disrespect your time." I said, "Here you are taking her out on nice outings that she wants to go on, dinners and so forth and on. You're spending your money. You're footing the bill. At times you're coming to pick her up because I think he said something was wrong with his car, which is why he needed an Uber that night." And I said, and she doesn't have the respect of the situation is to be on time. when you come to pick her up and take her on this fabulous night and have romance with her and all of this kind of stuff. I said, and so he was a little bit resistant. And I said, listen, I'm a woman. And I got just real. I said, I don't mean to hurt your heart, baby. I said, but I'm a woman. If you've been taking her out for like 2 months and you have not been intimate with her, that means you're the one that takes her out, and that's what you're for. And the other guy, whoever she be late for you for, that's who having fun. That's who she really wants. And I don't know who that guy is, but trust and believe you're not that guy, and he's not you. So I said, now, if you've only been with her for this short amount of time, I would say cut your losses, because no need for you to be in that situation with her for what? Yeah. Both of y'all are older for what? Be in that situation for what? Get your feelings hurt and get your heart hurt for a woman that, couldn't give 2 bits about you. I said, you need to find a woman that's appreciative of your time and effort to be with her. And she shows that appreciation, first of all, by not being late. Second of all, by not being disrespectful of you, your effort, or your time and your energy. I say your energy is valuable. And for the right woman, she will value it. The wrong woman is the one that don't value it. And that man got out of the game. Before he got out of the car, he said, I have never heard a woman talk like you before ever in my life. I said, really? He said, never. He said, you've actually given me a lot to think about, considering other stuff that I know that I haven't said to you. He was like, thank you so much. I just ain't never had nobody that talk to me like that. And so that is basically how I try to support blue pill men. I try to red pill. Yeah. I'm sorry, other ladies. If I run into your blue pill man, I'm going to give him a dose of red pill best I can. All right. I'm going to try to condense it into a real concentrated form and shoot it at him like a BB gun. And the next time he come back to you, he going to be giving you a side eye, sweetheart.
Yeah. That's good. Like, that's wow. That's what he needed to hear at that time. And that resonated with him. And I hope that he took that and carried it through, and paid it forward, as well. That's excellent advice to give, and that's very direct. And I mean, for myself, I think, that it would have been hard for me to do that. It is hard to do that. But I absolutely appreciate that. And you taking that, having that courage to tell him that. And that's one thing I think as a red pill woman, it's like, you just be out. For me, I don't know about everybody else. I've said this before. Like, when I get fed up, I get hot. Like, literally, I think my temperature goes up. I just feel hot. I'm like, oh, Lord, I have to get this out. Like, I just have to say this to you. And, like with the young boy, I just had to say it. And I knew if I put him in the position where he's with my brother, already my brother's on that level. So, he's not raging or anything. He's on that level. And so he'd be like, okay, who sent you to me? And the boy will say, well, your sister sent me here. And my brother be like, okay, let's go through this. So now the boy has more of a balanced view of what's going on. He got this view, this structure from the man. And then he comes back. If he comes back, I hope he does it. I hope he actually stays in more male-dominated spaces like that. I'm there to support. I've supported him and carried him to, the men in the environment that he needs to be in as he's developing. But I definitely, what you saying right now, like what you said, that was so important to me. I wrote it down. Time, the only resource you can't get back. And I said it several times, and I haven't had anybody to come and say, oh, that's wrong. Here's a resource another resource you can't get back. As far as I know, with tiny little bit of wisdom I have, that's the only resource I know of you cannot get back. So definitely you are right. When a woman disrespects your time, She's disrespecting your energy. She's disrespecting you as a man, as a human being. She's like,
Yes,
man.
exactly.
And on top of that, she's a scandalous little skit because she out here in the street with somebody else. You know that. You know she with somebody else now.
Hmm.
You can't figure that.
You know
Hmm.
she. Hmm. You know
Mm-hmm.
she is. That's why I told it to him, because he was trying to ask about it and he tiptoed about it. I'm not good. I'm not no earthly good. I just knocked the wall down. I said, baby, no. And I did it not to hurt him, but to spare him from that.
Right.
He didn't need to waste not a single moment more with someone who simply was not going to respect him at all. Someone who simply just was not going to, give him any sort of reciprocation or energy or anything, just using that man, just using his kindness, using his money, using his, I don't stand for that under any circumstance. So if at any time I have the opportunity to kind of put the kibosh, if I can, on stuff like that, then I definitely will do that. But let me go ahead and acknowledge these contributions. New, thank you for the Cash App. Mogul Maze, thank you for the Cash App. And 3M, thank you so much for your contributions. I've always said one of the Black women's strongest attributes is their femininity, which is very powerful to a man. And I definitely agree with that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap this up. Sister Nikole, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we wrap this up?
Oh no, I really enjoyed this. I hope everyone enjoyed the content today. I appreciate it, Kendra, for you having me here. I'm reading more. I'm looking through your 10 life values and these lessons that you have. I'm like, oh, like we've gone through a lot of them today.
Yes, you
Some
did.
of them we can touch on another time. But I once again appreciate you having me.
It's my pleasure. We always, and I actually want to have this again. So, we can talk in the background, but I would love to make this probably a once a month type of thing where the ladies get together, probably you and I for the first couple of times, but hopefully the other ladies will, share with us their views and their voice as well, as time goes on. So I would love to definitely do this again, because I think that this is a really needed conversation, one that's not being had in this sector of YouTube at all.
Right.
So definitely thank you so much for giving me your time and giving us your time and your energy and your attention today. I definitely greatly appreciate that. And I want to thank everyone who came in, who hit the like button, who contributed today. Please, if you have not subscribed to Nikole Ali's channel, please go ahead and do that. Nikole, go ahead and drop your link to your channel. I know most of you guys know who she is, but please go and support the sister in this space, because she has a lot of needed content. And both of our content here is unique in this space and needs to be supported as much as possible. So you can go ahead and put your link in the chat, Nikole.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but yeah, definitely. I just put it in there. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
All right, no problem. So thank everyone for coming in. Before we go, I want you guys, you know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Subscribe also to Miss Nikole's channel as well. And also, please go ahead and support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel with A-Game. A-Game is a natural supplement for men. And I'm asking the ladies to go ahead into the description box and please support your red pill men that are in your life. Support the men in your life, period. Go ahead and click that link at herbal.com. You can get a 10% discount by using the code Kendra10. And this has been yet another Crimson Cure production. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.